And we look at the numbers, a little bit of an unusual situation here because Pedraza, the taller fighter with the 5-inch reach advantage, figures to be the guy who'll be coming forward and applying pressure and looking to get close. And once again, the rules are the unified rules here in Missouri. No standing 8, no 3 knockdown rule. Only the ref can stop the fight. Can't be saved by the bell in any round, and the accidental foul rule. Before 4, no decision. After that, we go to the scorecards. Barry.
All right, thanks very much, Steve. And joined also by former champion Raul Marquez here at ringside. Joe Ortiz also with us. Chime in on any judging, scoring, or rules differences. You made the point earlier, Steve, if confidence wins fights.
Yeah, if confidence wins fights, Farmer's going to win this fight.
That's right.
But let's see how he fights. Let's see how he fights early. Is he going to show a lot of movement and respect for Pedraza or not? And amateur experience for these two couldn't be more different. Farmer didn't start boxing until 17, only 16 fights, no national experience, and of course Pedraza, an Olympian. And pro experience, actually, the numbers are close. Farmer claims he's fought better fighters so far than Pedraza. He's right.
And so far in his first round, Farmer's been able to crowd Pedraza. My apologies to Joe Cortez for calling him Joe Ortiz. I know better.
Step back, step back, step back. Watch your head. Step back, watch your head.
You can see that quick right hand from Pedraza.
Yeah, so far it looks to me like Pedraza's a little bit confused by Farmer's style. He hasn't been doing what he's supposed to do. He's coming in, but he's not jabbing in. He's usually a high volume puncher, and he's not throwing enough punches.
Step back, step back. Don't leave.
You're right, Raul, and he seems more concerned with upper body movement than that jab.
Yeah, a lot of bobbing and weaving.
And our viewers might be a little confused because the last time they saw Pedraza, he fought lefty the whole fight against Gil Garcia.
He told us when we talked to him earlier today that he was going to be orthodox and stay orthodox. He's completely ambidextrous, so he's equally comfortable.
Don't hold. Step back. Stop. Get back.
Well, today, so many fighters are switching in the middle of fights. I'm not a proponent of it. Pedraza might sell me on his ability to do it, but for the most part, I say for a young fighter, master one way before you fight the other way.
Yeah, so far, Farmer having a very effective first round.
I agree. He's, throwing some good combinations, good leads. They're coming in, he holds them in the inside, and Pedraza shouldn't allow him to do that. He's got to keep him busy. The more you let Farmer think, the more difficult it'll be for Pedraza. You've got to keep him busy.
Now, one thing that you do want to keep an eye on with Farmer is that he does have a tendency to tire. Now, he tells us he's in absolute peak shape, but when he fought Tim Witherspoon Jr., he was pretty much gassed after the 4th round.
Well, I read on his Twitter account, I don't know how true this was, but he said he sparred 12 rounds on Monday. I don't know why you would spar 12 rounds on the week of the fight.
Coming to the end of round number 1. Good round for Farmer.
Get back.
El trabajo está bien, pero tienes que combinarlo. Tienes que caminar con
the work is good. The work is good, but you gotta throw combinations.
Está bien.
It's okay. Throw the lead. You gotta move and throw more. You're okay. You're making a miss.
No va a tener nada contigo, pero tenemos que evitar y tirarlo a hacerlo
un walk in. Take this from me. Don't let him give him too many chances to walk in. You hear me? Too many chances to walk in. Good round. You hear me? Give me some Vaseline. Where's the mouthpiece? Come on, mouthpiece. Mouthpiece.
So we start round number 2. And again, it's Farmer who's being the aggressor in this fight and making Pedraza miss. That was a quick right hand by Pedraza.
And Pedraza is taking the action to him, but he's not throwing enough punches. And they told him in the corner, you got to throw more combinations. He's weighing too much.
Watch your head, guys. Watch your
One
head.
key for sure for Farmer, stay off the ropes. And Barry, you mentioned tires. That's something to look forward to later in the fight. And show stats, punches last round. Farmer's round, busier, and Pedraza only 21 punches thrown.
Not nearly as active as he has been. Obviously trying to pace up a little bit in this round, but still Farmer's been first. Farmer has just enough of an awkward style, Raul, that I would think it could be troubling.
And it's the left-handed style, and you know, you see as soon as he sees him come in, he holds him, and that's going to frustrate Pedraza, being that he's not a very experienced fighter. Let's see how he takes that. Pedraza needs to keep imposing his will on him, make him work. Good body shots there. Hi, Pedraza.
Stop. Listen, last one. Don't leave your jab out there.
Interesting. That's the second time the referee has warned Farmer for leaving his right hand advanced out toward Pedraza without throwing it. And it's funny, just at lunch today,
Yes,
Joe
we were
Cortez
talking
and
to
us,
Joe
we were talking
Cortez.
about that very thing. Pedraza's not having any trouble getting close this round. And he's letting that right hand go against the southpaw, always a good weapon.
That was a good one a moment ago, and he had a good one earlier in this round.
And now Pedraza goes southpaw.
I think Pedraza's finding his rhythm. A lot busier in this round than his first round.
And a little bit sharper also. Finding his range a little bit more.
And you can see he's the stronger of the two.
Farmer not quite as effective here in round two. Corner yelling at him to use his legs.
Well, Pedraza's busier. He's also finding a lot more punching opportunities from the southpaw stance. Interesting, because he promised us he was going to fight righty this fight.
Ooh, there's a right hand slipped in by Farmer.
Yeah, no head movement there from Pedraza.
Coming to the end of round number two, a better round for Pedraza.
Ahí, bueno, ese es bueno. Este round fue bueno.
This was a good round.
Cárgame bien. Cállame.
Take a deep breath.
Tres manos y las coges por el medio completo, y cuando vayas de lado tienes que ir con el gancho en
Go
contra.
through the middle, go down the middle, then the hook to the body.
Cuando termine la combinación, tráncate y cierra, ¿ok?
When you finish the
Termina y cierra,
combination,
no importa.
finish the combination and cover
La
up.
presión no la aguanta 4 rounds más.
He's not gonna be
¿ok?
able to take that
Lo
pressure
tocó
4
aquí,
more
no-
rounds.
No tiene nada abajo, lo aguanta todo.
You don't have nothing that
Importante que
use body shots.
corta el ring, pero
Cut off the
tirando.
ring. Cut off
¿ok?
the-
Pero
cut
la
off the
mano
ring,
está
but
recta.
throw punches.
Repíteme.
Keep
Ve la
repeating it.
recta de él, ¿ok?
Keep
La
repeating the
cogiste,
left,
la
the
pasaste
lead.
y te fuiste por debajo, ¿ok? Si trabajamos con tres manos, no hay problema. Coge velocidad, vamos.
Check it out.
Vamos,
Work
vamos
3-punch
aquí,
combinations, there's gonna be no problem.
Let's go.
That voice in the corner, the voice of his father, stepfather really, but the man who raised him.
Can Farmer keep this high-energy style going? That's the key.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be able to take that kind of pressure. And, you know, what I like at Pedraza from seeing him in the Gil Garcia fight, he's setting down more on his punches. You know, he's bending down a little bit on his legs to add more leverage, and he puts more hurt on his opponent that way.
Stop. Get back. Watch your head. Watch your head.
Well, Farmer is not embarrassed to hold. We've seen that in previous fights.
Now Pedraza really trying to take this fight to Farmer.
Pedraza threw 72 punches in round two, 50 more than he threw in round one.
And he's very up-tempo here in round three, too. This is round three of an 8-round fight. Pedraza in the white trunks, Farmer in the black. Pedraza really trying to put the pressure on him.
Pedraza's coming in very square, though.
Yeah, that's not good. An experienced fighter would measure that, will catch that and catch him coming in with a straight left hand and then a right hook. Obviously, Farmer doesn't have the experience to do that. But as he goes on in his career, Pedraza's going to find out that he's going to run into some better fighters down the line. He can't fight that kind of style.
Don't hold him.
You see how much more infighting there is now than there was in round one. Pedraza with a vaunted body attack, and when he's close, that's what he should do, take away the legs of his opponent.
There was a good left hand, hurt Farmer. He's in trouble against the ropes. Pedraza right on him. There's a good right hand. Drives him back into the ropes. Then a left hand drives him into the corner. Farmer unable to extricate himself. Another left hand from Pedraza and another to the top of the head, and finally gets off, but catches a right hand to the chin. Pedraza doing a good job of keeping Farmer on the ropes. Farmer doesn't have much left, and he's taking a lot of punishment. Takes a left hand, drives him back into the ropes, and finally is able to tie Pedraza up, at least for the moment. Now Pedraza pushes him back into the ropes. Farmer doesn't have anything left.
There's a long way to go. 30 seconds can be a long time. Farmer's been down twice in his career. Somehow he just looked to the referee like he's looking for some help.
Yeah, he is.
And I don't blame him.
He's tries to hold on here against the ropes.
Absolute blizzard of punches.
Chopping left hand just missed.
But very little to the body from Pedraza once he had his man hurt.
10 seconds left. Pedraza still on the prowl. Good body shot right there, doubled Farmer up. But Farmer's going to survive.
You better stay off that fucking road. Listen, we ain't come here to give him nothing.
Now, peace.
Hey, we ain't come here to give him nothing. Put that ice on his back. Put that ice on his back.
You see a nice short left hand from the southpaw stance from Pedraza. That began this fusillade. And really, if Farmer was against the ropes, I said it earlier, he can't be there. Now, he's very good at holding usually. He didn't do a lot of holding there, still slipping and sliding. The only problem for Pedraza in this flurry, counter body punches, very few. Missed a lot of shots upstairs, landed a lot of shots. To be honest with you, I'm shocked Farmer's still here.
So am I.
Keep him in there.
He didn't have much left. This is round 4, critical round here, really for both fighters, but particularly for Farmer.
112 punches thrown by Pedraza.
Oh, wow. Well, what I liked about Pedraza in that last round, when he had him on the ropes, and a lot of fighters lean on you, and he created that space. You know, he was in and out through combinations and didn't let Farmer lean on him where he was able to hold him. And I'm surprised he didn't get him out of there.
I still think Farmer's in recoup mode here.
Well, if he's got the legs, this is the time to use them, but look where he's standing along the ropes.
That's where he started the round, and that's where he is right now. Pedraza not yet been able to take care of business here, though, in this round.
See Pedraza cutting off the ring. See a lot more confidence in Pedraza in this round.
Farmer did get there with a left hand. It takes an uppercut in the process. And 2 body shots, 4 body shots from Pedraza. That was missing in the last round.
Sometimes Pedraza has a habit of coming forward, stopping right in front of his man and not doing anything. That's when he's getting hit.
Knocked the mouthpiece out of the mouth of Farmer right there, chopping left hand. Farmer fights back with a couple of shots to the body, takes another uppercut.
Farmer is usually showing, he's really showing a lot of heart in this fight. Definitely showing he's a Philly fighter.
Yeah, that's right. He said that when we asked him about Pedraza and what he sees in Pedraza. He said nothing.
Where the mouthpiece at?
They will fetch the mouthpiece here.
Mouthpiece, clean it up, hurry up.
And quite frankly, Farmer's looking like a gassed fighter even now.
But this rest here is helping him a little bit.
Yeah.
Very smart corner. Pedraza needs to jump right on him and pick up right where you left out. Keep that momentum going. Keep that momentum going. Don't let him rest.
So here we go again. Just about the midway point of round 4.
Let me tell you, that rest helps Farmer. It also helps Pedraza. He reloads now, and he can throw a lot of punches in a short period of time again.
Farmer, a couple of wild punches.
nice, solid jab there by Pedraza. He's finding the distance. He's looking for that overhand left, or straight left.
Took a right hand, the process from Farmer.
Farmer's trying.
Yep.
He is tired, he is hurt, but he's trying.
We asked him about having brawls in the gym in Philly, and that, of course, is a hallmark of Philly fighters. Some of the best fighters took such a beating in the gym they never really made it in the real world.
He said, yeah, I don't do that. He said, I'm about not getting hit. Well, he's gotten hit a lot in this fight, especially in that second round. But he's not doing a bad job this round. Slippery guy.
Yeah. Took a right hand right there, a little bit short.
Step back, step back, step back, step back, step back. Stop holding.
I want you to do. Look what I want you to do. Listen to me real good. Give me the other mouthpiece. Rinse out there. Give me water.
Right here is your water.
Well, give it to me. Listen to me, man.
Yeah, mouthpiece.
Listen. Let's take this guy, Tevin. I want you to take it.
Vivo con él. No
Be smart, be smart.
Okay?
Don't let him get close. Give him laterals.
Saca un paso lateral y lo mete por debajo.
And a scary punch total for Pedraza. 41% of his power shots, most of those coming in the third round. You see that Farmer actually has thrown more punches despite the fact that Pedraza threw, what, 112 in the third round.
Pretty high connect percentage, though, for Pedraza as we start round 5.
And is Pedraza relying too much on power shots? The show stats tell us he's not jabbing very much at all.
And the jab is usually his game.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of frustration from Pedraza. I mean, he's winning the fight, but he's looking for that one punch, and that's where a young fighter like him makes the mistake. You know, he's excited to be fighting his first main event here on Showbox, and he was anxious to show the world why he's that prospect that everyone's talking about. And that's what happens. He starts tightening up. You see how he tightens up on the inside? And then he tries to load up with one single punch. He's got to put them together.
Farmer, in the meantime, 4 unanswered left hands, and there's a backhand. Good in tennis, not so good in boxing.
Can you punch with top spin?
Get up. Get up. Get up.
Don't know.
I just don't like the way Pedraza's coming in totally square. And if he jabbed more, he'd keep that right foot in front of the left more.
Now Pedraza opening up again. And Farmer just backs right back into the ropes, and now he gets off. Good body shot from Pedraza. Farmer's clearly gassed.
Step back, step back. Get up, get up, get up, get up. All right.
Pedraza needs to just keep pecking away, keep touching, touching, touching. Don't load up, don't load up.
Wild right hand a moment ago from Pedraza.
And Pedraza should be looking for that uppercut a lot more because Farmer's beginning to bend right there at the waist.
Farmer gets us back to the ropes, throws a couple of punches. They're wild punches, but they did get there. There's a good body shot from Pedraza.
Oh, those body shots are hurting him. He's got a look of agony on his face.
Yeah, he's really ripping them body shots, and he's bending his legs. He needs to come up the middle. Rip body shots, come up the middle with uppercuts.
And there's an example of Pedraza standing in front of Farmer without doing anything.
Yeah, it's squared up in front of him.
And Farmer's taking advantage of that. He's connecting with some shots.
Yeah, Farmer's nothing if not game here. There was a good right hand. I'm not sure Farmer ever saw that punch. And Farmer again in trouble on the ropes. Gets off the ropes, tries to tie up Pedraza. Farmer just has no legs at all.
the fuck I told you? Listen to me, son. Stay off the ropes. It's all right if you grab him, Tevin, and walk him around. Tell you, give me the squirt bottle. I want the squirt bottle. Yeah.
He's not.
Get the ice on his back, his fucking head. Listen to me, man. You walk around with the guy, you gotta buy this round. Get your hands off the rope. Do his arms, Danny.
Action from round 5. We've been calling for Pedraza to work the body, and I don't know if you can see it in this replay, but from where I was sitting, the look on Farmer's face when Pedraza landed those shots was just one of a lot of hurt. And there it is. You could see Raul mentioned that the leverage that Pedraza is getting on those body shots. If he mixes in a few more uppercuts, he's going to get his man out of there.
Well, we come to round 6. He's got 9 minutes to get him out of there.
Well, so far Pedraza hasn't made it look that easy. Farmer's giving him some rounds. He's making him work. And this is definitely a learning experience for Pedraza.
Well, Farmer is looking like a guy who really doesn't have much chance to win the fight. It gives us an opportunity to bring in Joe Cortez once again. And Joe, what is the referee looking at right now? I mean, it doesn't appear that Farmer's going to be able to do any business against Pedraza. And Pedraza has clearly won every round with the possible exception of the first round. What's the referee do in this situation?
Well, right now the referee is taking a close look at the Farmer, because Farmer is definitely outclassed and his fatigue is set in. He's running around the rope. He's trying to look to survive, really. He look at him running away, and that's not a good sign. And the referee is definitely thinking, well, if he takes a good combination of blows, gets wobbled a little bit, he's probably going to jump in and stop it and let him come back another day. We don't want fighters to take unnecessary punishment. And obviously, Farmer came in with a short notice, and all that is taken into consideration.
So if you're suggesting that refereeing this fight right now, doing the right thing, just waiting for the right time.
Waiting for the right time. Farmer's still throwing punches. That's why the referee is not jumping in. But when you see a fighter like right now, he's taking, well, his mouth is wide open. He's really gasping for air. And right here, he's in the danger zone, right? When the fighter's up against the rope, he's in trouble. And that's not a good sign for a fighter, a good place for a fighter to be anyway.
And Farmer's fought a good portion of this fight with his back to the ropes. Took a real beating with his back to the ropes in the second round, or the third round, I beg your pardon. But since that time, he's taken a beating, but Pedraza's just not been able to get his man out of it.
Farmer's landing a lot of shots. You know, is Pedraza getting hit because he's sloppy or because he doesn't feel he can be hurt? We don't know the answer to that, but he is getting hit too much.
Another straight right hand from Pedraza.
There's the uppercut.
Yeah, and a good one.
He's only throwing an uppercut with his left hand. He needs to use both hands. Throw uppercut with both hands. Change it up. Confuse your opponent. He keeps using the left uppercut. Why not spin him around and right hook to the body and uppercut with the right hand?
Pedraza continues to try to crowd Farmer here as we come to the end of round 6 and another decisive round for Pedraza. Well, next Saturday night, Showtime Championship Boxing brings you a world title rematch.
Big Time Boxing has a new address. Brooklyn.
Malinachi on the attack.
Local hero Paulie Malinachi and adopted son Peter Kid Chocolate Quillen welcome giant killer Danny Garcia as he looks to finish his business with the legendary Eric Morales.
Oh, a left hook from Garcia.
World champions are back in Brooklyn. Garcia versus Morales with Malinachi and Quillen. 3 championship fights. Saturday, October 20th at 8, only on Showtime.
Back to your old stomping ground, Steve.
Come on. Brooklyn born, Brooklyn proud. We take a look at action from round 6. I've been calling for the uppercut. Very simple reason. If Farmer's going to bend at the waist, hit him with uppercuts.
Box.
This is round 7 of a scheduled 8-round fight. Since the first round, it's been a pretty lopsided affair with Jose Pedraza kind of having his own way with the last-minute substitute Tevin Farmer.
Last 3 rounds, Pedraza's outlanded Farmer 61-23. Says it all.
It does. Combination by Farmer, but Pedraza's still right there. Farmer's connecting actually with a lot of punches here.
Yeah, Pedraza's lucky that Farmer's not a big puncher.
That was some good body shots.
Come on, get up here. Get over. Hurry up, Jake. Mouthpiece, hurry up. Where's it off? Where's it off? Get over.
Again, a mouthpiece.
Go back.
Right before the mouthpiece went out, that was a good, nice little flurry by Farmer to the body, and then he came up to the head of Pedraza.
Farmer's going to have to score a knockout to win. I have Pedraza ahead 59-54. I scored the 3rd round 10-8.
So did I.
There you go. Well, that's because we know how to score.
Great minds.
Take a point. Hold. Hold.
They took a point away for holding.
A moot point.
Yes, it is a moot point. That's just going to make it a little bit more lopsided. Reaching right hand, but Pedraza really was not balanced with it.
Yeah, Pedraza is trying too hard. He's trying too hard to get him out of there.
There's that left uppercut.
And he needs to make a statement. I mean, he needs to get him out of there. He's got this round and the next round, so
Step back, step back, step back, step back, step back.
he's running out of time.
Mouthpiece is out. Ref chose not to call timeout.
It's a little backhand by Farmer. Did you see that?
Don't hold, don't
Did
hold.
that
Step back,
earlier,
step
too.
back, step back,
Blood
step
from the
back,
nose
step
of
back.
Farmer now.
I don't think the ref knows the mouthpiece is gone from Farmer's mouth.
Stop.
It gets to a point in a fight like this one.
Time.
Here's the mouthpiece coming out.
3rd time that's happened.
Get over. Give him the mouthpiece. Give him the mouthpiece.
And they keep alternating mouthpiece.
Yeah.
But there comes a time in a fight like this where, because of the style of Farmer, and because he is landing shots when he punches, it gets a little more pressing for Pedraza to get the stoppage. He really doesn't need or want to go 8 here. I don't think that's such a good thing for him.
Now Farmer on his bike stops for a moment with his back to the ropes.
Right. Step back. Step back.
I think as tired as Farmer is, Pedraza might be starting to get a little bit gassed also.
Oh, I believe so. He's been very busy in the last couple of rounds. And like I said, he's trying so hard to get him out of there. But it seems like Farmer is not just going to give him that tonight.
Well, Farmer's still punching. A couple of body shots, comes up with the left hand, a right hand to the head by Pedraza at the bell.
Wow. Farmer keeps fighting back.
Man, you gotta pull this shit out, man. Do his arms, man. It's the last one. Yeah, you need a knockout from it. It's down here, Rep. Down here. You need a knockout. You hear what I'm saying? Yeah. Hold this. You gotta do it, man.
Vamos a sacar a este tipo en este round, pero estirando.
We need to get him out of there in this round. You got to throw. Make room.
Vamos.
Let's go.
Caiga.
Get some air. Deep breath.
Open this.
It's open. It's open.
Stop letting this guy walk you down, man.
Limpia eso.
Well, they were very honest in the corner of Farmer, said you got to knock him out. He only has one in his career, and fighting the best guy that he's fought so far. So it seems a tall order for Farmer.
Indeed so. And what's he supposed to do differently? He's landing his shots when he throws them. You know?
And he goes down.
I think he hurt his hand.
I was going to say, I did not see a
left
punch.
hand. Looks like he hurt his left hand.
Accidental headbutt. You okay? But,
That was a yes/no.
Well, I'm confused because it did look like he hurt his hand, but the ref ruled it a butt.
And clearly, he's not able to use that left hand.
That's it.
Yeah, they stopped the fight. It's really a moot point whether they let this go on for another minute. Wouldn't make much difference.
Not at all. I mean, Pedraza was winning the whole fight.
Yoda. Bueno, 47. 47.
Well, Pedraza will remain undefeated. We're going to get an opportunity in a moment to see what happened. Meantime, Pedraza continues undefeated. And I think it's fair to say, I'll direct this to you, Raul, that this is still very much a work in progress.
Absolutely, yeah. This was definitely a learning experience for Pedraza, and he's going to see down the line that he's going to fight a lot of slick fighters with power. Imagine if Farmer had some snap, some decent power. Things could have been different because he did connect with some good shots.
I think he did, and Steve made the point that he just really does square up in front of his opponent. I would have to think they'll take it back to the drawing board and work on angles and all that sort of thing.
Yeah, most definitely. Pedraza's a boxer, more comfortable in that style. He was effective in making an early adjustment going to southpaw, but in terms of applying the pressure, he got hit way too much tonight.
So Pedraza won every round on my card except the first round, and I too gave the third round and made the third round a 10-8 round. So I would have to think that this will be rather lopsided in favor of Pedraza. He will remain undefeated. I'm sure they'll take it back. They'll look at the tapes. They'll try to figure out what needs to be done from here. Let's see if we can see what happened to Farmer. Left hand, and oh yeah, something happened. Hand or wrist. Ever had anything like that happen at all?
No, nothing like that ever happened to me. But I'm just looking at Farmer. It seems like he threw his left hand and maybe he bent the wrist. I really couldn't tell what happened, but it was his left hand that he got hurt.
Reminds me of Floyd Mayweather. The only knockdown he's ever suffered was when he hurt his hand. And he went down and the referee counted. Now, the referee should have counted here, but he didn't because he ruled it a headbutt. There was no headbutt.
It looked to me like he hit Pedraza's elbow, and that might have been how he hurt his hand.
Yeah, exactly right, Rowan.
And he wasn't able to use it for the rest of, as far as the fight went. It was stopped shortly thereafter, and here is the stoppage. You can see that Farmer's in pain here.
Yeah, and covering up more blatantly than he was in prior moments of trouble. So I think the referee was looking for an excuse, as Joe Cortez indicated earlier.
And why not?
He took punishment throughout the whole fight. Well, after the second round, he was all Pedraza, power shots, and there's only so much a fighter could take.
All right, let's make it official now. We take it to the center of the ring once more. Thomas Driver. Thomas.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is the official time. 47 seconds of round number 8. Our referee in charge, Celestino Ruiz, steps in, stops the contest. Your winner by way of technical knockout, and still undefeated, Jose the Sniper Pedraza. And ladies and gentlemen, how about a big round of applause for Tevin Farmer.
Stay in the ring, stay in the ring, guys. Stay in the ring.
Pedraza remaining undefeated with a very lopsided decision, or that wasn't a decision, a stoppage, I should say, over an outmanned Tevin Farmer. And really, Steve, I think for the most part, after the first round, the decision not in doubt in the least.
Interesting, too, that it was after the first round that Pedraza switched to southpaw. He seems more comfortable that way. Again, I think this was a difficult fight for him because he had to take on a persona that he's not used to. Being a pressure fighter is not really his game, and he had to do it against a guy who showed tons of heart and also a little bit of a slippery kind of guy who, in the early rounds at least, was able to get out of trouble, grab, escape to the right. And Farmer did what he had to, but the inevitable came in round 8.
All right, we do have our on-site official, Joe Cortez. And Joe, let's talk about the stoppage, your feeling about it, and your feeling of it was called a headbutt by the referee when, in fact, replay showed there was no headbutt. Probably should have been a knockdown.
Well, you know, sometimes the referee is in a position that he's not in the right angle, and he might have missed that punch right there. And it was obviously a punch, a left hand, and he probably caught him on the elbow with it. And the referee thought that perhaps it was a headbutt. That's why he didn't count there, or he didn't try to stop it there. He thought it was an accidental headbutt. And I won't say confused. It was just at the angle that he was at, he probably didn't see it that clear. But obviously we saw here on the replay that he definitely hurt the hand.
And probably did the right thing and just looking for a time after that and probably realizing there was no headbutt to step in and stop the fight.
And there's irony in the fact that
sometimes a referee is in a position where the fighter is at a certain angle. You can't be at all angles at the same time. But it was obvious he was waiting for an opportunity, and he saw this was the point right here when Farmer was taking some punches, and he felt it was best to stop it there. But I think that it was a good stoppage.
All right, thanks very much, Joe. That's Joe Cortez. And I'll turn to Raul Marquez here for a moment. And we talked about the fact that Pedraza still is something of a work in progress.
Yes.
Yeah, let me put you in the role of trainer for a moment. What do you say to your man? What do you do when you go back to the gym?
Well, I mean, it's all about how to learn it for this prospect, and that's what he did here tonight. You know, he gets different styles of fighting, an aggressive guy. Tonight he fought a very slick, slippery guy, and you know, this is going to help him in the future when he gets to the top caliber fights. And I think he goes back to the gym, watches the fight, and perhaps gets some sparring with fighters like that. And he's going to learn that I really believe, like Steve said, he needed to throw more uppercuts with both hands and dig harder to the body.
All right, Steve, we talked about the fact that he was being carefully matched, and I'm not trying to put a knock on this guy, but maybe we saw why tonight.
Yeah, I think very much so we saw why, because it's a matter of styles. One of the things you want to do when you're young fighters, you want to face as many styles as you can. Tonight he fought a substitute, let's not forget, a guy that maybe he wouldn't have fought under normal conditions, who was a lefty and very slick. So it's easy to criticize Pedraza. Even though he stopped his man, I'd give him a B-, a C+ even, but it's a style that he will be more comfortable facing next time.